So in this video, I'm going to talk about the blue light that you might be experiencing. Is it real or is it part of your imagination? So, hi, my name is Nancy. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for popping in today. So I'm going to be talking about the blue light frequency. I'll just give a little kind of review. But the reason why I was inspired to make this video is because I do have many of you will write in the comments section. Many of you, I have a blue light page on Facebook. So often people will show me pictures and images, sacred geometry, all kinds of things. And they'll say, is this the blue light or is this something else? Like they want me to verify if it's a blue light frequency. So let me talk a little bit more about that so that you can have confidence in your intuition when you're sensing these, this color of blue. Now, when I first talked to the star beings, what they told me was that this color blue, and it can be very similar to this color, but it can be also very light blue, and it can even be darker than this, like a lapis blue. So I was shown that this blue waves of light have been coming through since around the 1920s, fairly regularly, fairly strongly. And this blue light, though, came to me around 2017. And I was asked by the blue star beings to go to China. That needs to be a book all on its own because it's pretty incredible. I was told by the blue beings of light that the information that I seek is located in China. I did end up going there for about a month, traveled around, and I knew that the blue star beings would lead me every step of the way where I needed to go. Well, I ended up in Xi'an, China, which was actually where the very first surge came through. And it was at a temple there where it has an enormous temple that's built around the sacred index finger bone of Buddha. And they have it in this beautiful golden kind of gilded glass case. And once every hour, it's like there's an opening in the ceiling. It'll open up and then they'll lower this case down. Now the ceilings are, goodness, what, 30, 50 feet high? I don't know. It's a huge dome. They're not going to come down to where anybody can touch it. But there was this circular rail of marble underneath it. And then they had all these cushions that went around. And so people were lined up, like they go by the tens of thousands. They make a pilgrimage to this place. Now, Xi'an, China is you may recognize that term because the terracotta warriors were discovered there, I think, in the 1970s. And that in itself is worth the whole price of China to go witness that. So I had already been to several different cities. I'd been to different provinces. I was getting little bits of information, but not a lot of information. But here I am now, I'm in line, this gilded, beautiful ornate glass case has come out of the ceiling, and I'm like number 5 in the line, then number 4, number 3. Now it's my turn to kneel down on the cushion and just see if I could feel or sense the sacredness of these bones. Well, before I knew it, this blue lightning bolt came down, hit me right on top of the head. I ended up passing out on the ground. I knocked my friend Donna, who was standing behind me, completely. It knocked her off her feet. She's down on the ground. And I had a vision come to me. Now, when that vision came, it showed me that there would be 3 surges of light. The first one in 2019 would surge through the pyramid in Xi'an, China. The second one would be outside of Mexico City at Teotihuacan, that it would surge through there in 2021. And then in 2023, it would surge through the 3 mesas in Hopi land. So the reason why I think the star beings wanted me to go there is because when I shared this with this group of the group of people who were Chinese. They looked at each other really perplexed and puzzled, and then they looked at me and I said, "What's wrong?" And they said, "This particular prophecy was written about 1,500 years ago in a book in China. Like it still exists to this day." So I found that very interesting and very validating. But that was my very first experience. For some reason, I needed to go to China to have that experience and to bring it back here in our Western world, where a lot of people just are not normally in alignment with talking to star people. Now, that's changed since 2017. It's changed a lot, and many of you are having experiences. So I want to talk about this blue light frequency. Now, I do have free blue light meditations on my website, intuitivemind.org. So if you're questioning if you're feeling the blue light, I highly recommend that you go to I think it's the shop button, you click on that and it'll say free meditation. You can download the blue light meditations. And then you can meditate with the blue light to see if that frequency is familiar with you. But the way that I sense and see the blue light and experience the blue light, it's a beautiful, very high frequency. There are times where I'll get the impression that there's a lot of sacred geometry around it. And in that sacred geometry, a lot of you will pick it up in your photographs. So you'll take pictures and you'll see blue. You'll see blue orbs. You'll see blue sacred geometry. They might come out like diamonds. They might be squares or cubes. They might be like a 12-pointed star, and you see the light bursting off in all directions. So it can show up often on cameras as sacred geometry. Some of you may see, and I've seen this too, where it'll have like little sparks. So it's almost like it's a blue, like the color of my shirt, but this blue will have like little silver sparks in it. So for me, when I've taken a closer look, those are light codes. So for those of you who maybe are sensitive to sensing that, you may see the sparks, and I know those to be the light codes. Often people will, because they'll write and they'll say, "Is this my imagination or is this real?" Well, I just want to let you know that your seventh chakra, the intuitive ability of your seventh chakra, is to imagine. Imagination is a highly developed spiritual ability. But we are taught that imagination is not real. But our spirit communicates to us through our imagination. So sometimes you may see a blue all over everything. And some days when the blue is so intense, it does look like and feel like I'm moving through the frequency of blue, the color of blue. So your imagination, your spirit will help amplify that for you so that you can pick it up and you can see it better. Some people will be laying in their bed at night, or they'll wake up in the middle of the night and they'll see blue all through the room, or you might see blue orbs, or you'll see bursts of blue light. Now, it's not your imagination when you're seeing it at those times, because that's when the kind of like the veil is the thinnest time frame, but also your astral body is not totally settled into your body yet. And your astral body is that higher frequency energy field that travels to the dream world, at night. And so when your astral body is just coming back, if you open your eyes, you're going to be able to see the energy in the room. Now, the energy doesn't always come with star beings, because the frequency of the blue is a particular frequency, and I'm often told that dissolves illusion, enhances truth, and brings justice. and expresses justice will bring justice to the world. And so that can be its main frequency. And so some star beings love to work with that frequency of blue, but that doesn't mean that there's star beings around. It just means that there's a lot of this blue light that's infusing the area that you live in and the room that you are in. So what can happen is your mind can interfere and you think that, but that can't be the blue light. It might be a blue light, but it might not be the blue light. Well, I want to let you know it is the blue light. The blue light comes from beyond the beyond, from another galaxy. It infuses into the earth. When it infuses, there are blue crystals at the center of the earth, and then it's like it comes down from the cosmos, and then it radiates back up through the earthly plane. So often people can sense and see the blue light much better in nature. Often you won't see it with the naked eye, but if you put your digital camera, like your phone camera up, or maybe you've got a nicer camera than that, you go to take a picture, you want to use your imagination that's going to amplify your intuition. Your intuition's going to say, point your camera over there and click it. Okay, point your camera up there and click it. Point your camera over there. So you want to listen to your intuitive senses to possibly capture the blue light on your camera, even if you can't see it with the naked eye. So your mind will want to interfere. Your mind will say, no, that's not possible. That's your imagination. That's got to be a reflection from the sun. There's got to be something blue around this room that the light is bouncing off of. Believe me, I've done this a long time. I always like to rule out everything to make sure that what I'm seeing and sensing is valid. Okay? So what do I see happen in the human energy field when you call upon the blue light frequency and when it appears to you? The first thing that I see is when you call in that blue light, your aura begins to expand. So your aura can be quite tight next to your body. You can be contracted, stressed, anxious. But when that blue light comes in, your auric field begins to expand. Your energy centers, your chakras start to spin at a higher frequency. You may even find that when you're working with earth energy, that even the earth energy is blue. Often I'm shown like a clay type blue earth energy that seems to come up my legs and down my grounding. So it is a very expansive energy. So when you're around that blue light, you will often feel a little bit exhilarated. And what I said, it's like a fun park. It's like a ride where you're rising up. The ride is rising up before it begins to swirl and twirl around. So often it will come with that feeling of like a mountain fresh air, or it'll come with that feeling of usually what I'll do is like, oh, something's about to happen. I can feel something's about to happen. I can feel there's an energy that's about ready to shift. And so I will kind of go with it. I'll relax more and I will ground more. If you go into fear, fear stops the higher frequency ride. It can take you back down to the ground so you can get off of the ride. When I've asked the blue beings of light about this and the blue light, what they're saying is that they are so much in service to us, they do not want to cause us to feel fear. So they will slow things down so that you don't feel fearful. But please don't feel bad if you felt fear and you feel the energy drop again. Don't stop from trying again. what I suggest is just being in meditation, asking the blue light to help you to clear fear. Ask your higher self to help you to clear fear and find ways to be in peace with the blue light. So as you clear fear, you clear doubt, you clear confusion, you want that blue light to help infuse faith and trust. You also want to tune in. How do you intuitively feel? Are you feeling a bit lighter? Are you hearing a sound? So often I will hear a high-pitched sound. Sometimes it'll sound like whales and dolphins sound, that supersonic ultrasound booms that come through, that'll move through. So go with that feeling, go with that sound. Sometimes when you, I will say when my eyes are open, everything looks a little bluish, but when my eyes are closed, it's much more intense. So try and close your eyes to see if you can, just like the digital camera where you can't see it with the naked eye, but you click the camera, do the same. Close your eyes and see if you can sense the blue around you. The blue light activates your pineal. So when the blue light comes in, your spirit comes further down in your body. Your pineal is located in your sixth chakra. It gets activated at a higher frequency, higher level. When that happens, your intuitive senses also rise. So you may be able to pick up intuitive senses about your life in a greater expanded way than you would without the blue light. So just try out your intuition, kind of let it get kick-started, and let yourself kind of review some things that are going on in your life. The different blues. So I often talk about this kind of darker blue, but the darker the blue, the more intense it is. The lighter the blue, the less intense it is. But it still has the same qualities. So you may see a very light blue, like a powder blue, or you may see like a turquoise kind of blue, a seafoam, aquamarine kind of blue, all the way to a midnight blue that's almost like a black blue. I'll see cobalt, or we'll see lapis. So it depends on how much intensity of the blue you can take, and your spirit knows that, and so that will cultivate which color frequency is coming through. Remember, a lighter blue is less intense and has a very gentle feel to it. A darker blue can have a much higher frequency. It can feel more intense to someone. So how do you know that it is blue and it is the blue light? So I will tell you, blue is showing up for everybody in their paintings, in their artwork, in their meditations. It's highly intense right now. We are having the blue light of truth that's coming. I will put the link in this video that will take you to that particular video that helps you dissolve lies and enhance truth. But for me, it's almost like, have you ever been out in the snow and you feel like it's just quiet? There's this quiet, and the snow's dropping, and it drops on the end of your nose, it drops on your eyelashes. It's very, very light, but it feels refreshing. So this blue light can feel very, very refreshing. Let's see what else. You'll feel an expansion in your heart chakra. You'll also feel an expansion in your solar plexus chakra and your communication chakra. And so most of the chakras will go on a hyperspin, but the bigger ones you're going to feel, it's love, but it's a neutral love, if I can put it that way. It's not this human kind of gushy kind of love. it's very much a universal love, so your heart will be expanded as well. So this is a really exciting time. There's so many of you that are waking up to the blue light. So the best way that I can say is just have trust, have faith. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Any kind of blue that you're seeing is a message from that blue frequency. And then tune into your intuition. What's my feeling? Intuition telling me? What's my sound? What's my sight? What's my knowingness? And then trust it, because the minute you know, you can tell yourself for a fact, even if you can't see it with the naked eye, that blue will start coming in more often. It'll start visiting more often. You'll have this sacred geometry that's coming through more often. You'll start to see some light codes, which I'll talk about in another video, coming through more often. So, what's the question? Is blue light real, or is it just my imagination? It's real. It's real. I have a whole other story to tell about China, but I was talking to a Taoist master, and oh gosh, he was probably the 10th one I had talked to on my trip, and I hadn't gotten any really great feedback from the others. And then he asked me if I had a question. And before I could even formulate the question, I just saw him burst into pure blue light. And I was like, oh, you're a blue being. I was so excited. And when the interpreter said to him, she said, you're a blue light being. Oh my gosh, he got the biggest smile on his face. He was so excited that I actually could see that he was a star being here on Earth and that he's a Taoist master in China. So let's keep having fun with this. Keep asking your questions. Please keep sharing with me your photographs and your stories. I love it, love it, love it. Please get together with groups and talk about the blue light, meditate with the blue light. And don't forget my free blue light of truth meditation that helps to clear lies and illuminate truth. And that link will be in the narrative below. All right, everyone, take good care. Enjoy the blue and blue light. We are all stronger together than we've ever been apart.